That was the last game in the round of 16, was Viper versus ACCM. You can see then the completed round of 16, round of 8 there for you now. And we're going to have to quickly turn away from this because the game started. So I'll let you guys go ahead.
All right. So we're in the game, my friends. This is game 1 in a best of 3 between Liereyy and DauT. In the north, we have Liereyy. Liereyy is playing as the Italians. And in the south, we have DauT. DauT is also playing as the Italians. As Zach said, this is Baltic. Baltic is a water map, and Italians are the best Baltic or water civ nowadays. With me, I have Dave. This is the first time Dave and I will be co-casting on the Escape channel. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, dude. Doing good. Super hyped. We got the old and the slow against the new and
yes, exactly.
New and the something that rhymes with new that means quick.
Yeah. Well, we've seen these guys face off before, and just as Dave said, Liereyy, he always tends to use his speed. DauT uses his experience. And when it comes to water maps, especially with fire galleys now, I feel like it's all about that experience, right? It's about the build. It's about getting the right numbers out, knowing when to transition. So I don't think DauT will have any problems here beating Liereyy if he sticks to that. Focusing on maps is, I guess, something we normally do in Age of Empires 2, but on Baltic, it's not a huge concern what the maps look like, as players normally go for water. But just because we have the time anyway, looking at DauT's base in the south, he has a nice wood line there, and he has quite a few surrounding him. He has a nice stone, a nice gold location, and the deer, which can also be important for faster uptimes and more food, are in a good position for DauT to lure, and he's already lured one in. Then Liereyy in the north, he's also pushing in a deer. He has multiple wood lines. His gold is a bit more awkward because he can't fully surround that, but I don't think that will be a concern, and his stones are slightly forward. So maybe there will be land aggression if someone loses water, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, the only problem I see, like DauT's map, I feel like is better early game because he's closer to the water. He doesn't have to sacrifice that idle time that Lierey's doing to go out and dock and walk all the way over there. But in the late game, like he has to expand to the right, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Slightly less map position, and like on the left, his berries are blocking it off, so he has to go along the shoreline. If Lierey's controlling that, he can't get a villager around there. So it's difficult for him late game.
Yeah. So both players will go for docks. Both players will add fishing ships. And I don't know exactly what their populations will be when they up, but the goal is to aim to hit fuel H as fast as possible and then protect your fish. And with fire galleys and how they are currently, they can kill fishing ships pretty quickly. So fires, maybe some demos, and then if the water battles are really close, we could even see transitions to galleys later on. And DauT is docking and Liereyy is docking.
Liereyy has terrible fish. Terrible fish.
Oh, good point. He is
the one spot he could have docked.
Yeah,
that's awful.
On the right-hand side, there's some deep fish. On the left-hand side, there's some deep fish. He doesn't have deep fish. I didn't think that would be a concern. And he's scouting for that now. So I guess that's the one difference between these two players so far, as the dock times are similar and everything. So DauT using some of his secret hacks. Liereyy is looking for the fish, Dave, and he hasn't found them yet. He might. Oh, he's going to go for the shore fish. That is much slower than the deep fish. That's unfortunate for Liereyy.
DauT's going to see that too. It's going to be like, I got fish right next to my dock. I'm fine.
All right, well, it's even more important for Liereyy now to kill DauT's fish. And Liereyy gets Loom, which is a good indicator he will try and click up to the feudal age after that. Also, just a small difference. If you look at the amount of food that DauT has left on his board, it's around 120. And then Liereyy, his is at 170. So Liereyy brought in the food slower there. Small differences are huge differences at this level, Dave.
I think Liereyy pushed 2 deer and DauT only pushed 1 deer, I believe.
Okay. Well, they've clicked up at identical times. So enough of that. It will be water focus here. Both players will leave food. They will go to wood and they will go to gold. And they will send a villager out to build a second dock. And DauT, as you said, is slightly closer to the water, so he has a little bit less idle time. And as we've already mentioned a couple times now, he is the better fish. So normally, You create 3 to 4 fishing ships, and then those fishing ships are bringing in enough food to keep your villager production going in feudal. If you lose the fishing ships, then you have to use what other sheep you have left over, or you go to berries or something. You know, if DauT loses water, Dave, some of his economy could be ranged. He can't go to the berries.
That's what I was talking about before.
And yeah, the
So
wood line could
close.
also be ranged by galleys. So I was thinking more about the expansion aspect later on throughout the game, but you're right. DauT's eco could be ranged.
Lierey's super smart walling in his villager. You
Yep.
always have to do that in tournament games. And he docked right next to the short fish or the deep fish he knew was there. So he's finally going to start getting some consistent food if they don't die.
It's amazing that they've both hit feudal age at the same time, the same amount of villagers. Liereyy has one more fishing ship, and both players will be using their scouts on the shoreline to pick off any villagers that might go for extra docks. But for now, both players have fire galleys on the way, and yeah, Liereyy adds a third dock now. Water maps are all about execution, Dave. It is so tight at times, especially when fire galleys can kill fish so quickly.
It's also when you decide to transition. Like if you're, and DauT didn't wall in his villager, so he's gonna have to waste time fighting Lierey's scout there. Something Liereyy did, something DauT didn't do. It's about like figuring out when to switch to demos, when to switch to galleys. Like it's a really fine line that you walk between that. And they just pass each other. Okay, they see each other now.
Yep, just passing, and oh, it's so hard to tell. You know, the micro isn't as obvious with something like fire galleys. But Liereyy will go forward for DauT's fish. Both players are going to have a new batch of fire galleys on the way. Liereyy slightly repositions his fish because DauT's looking for them. And now DauT will have to run with those fire galleys, and pretty much the same thing happening at DauT's docks. Though the engagement, a better start to that engagement anyway for Liereyy. And he might catch DauT's fish off guard here. He's not going to turn around to go after them. He'll just let them go.
He's got some sort of secret fishing economy, am I right?
Haha, slow clap. Well, the fishing ships are still alive, but these engagements seem slightly better for Liereyy at the start. He's getting more surrounds on the fire galleys from DauT. And now the question is, when will the demos come out? As I say that, DauT has more units in this group. And currently it's 6 military for DauT and 3 for Liereyy.
And he's killing Lierey's fish. He's chasing after him. He found him.
Great stuff for DauT. Will there be a demo for Liereyy? Yes, a demo raft is coming out of the right dock. That's how you change things. It's really not just numbers, though. DauT has low HP on a lot of these fire galleys, so that's
good demo
why.
incoming.
Oh, will he hit more than one there? He hits one. I think he splashed slightly on the one on the right. And DauT's going to repair the one fire galley back at home. This is a smart move. He adds his own demo.
He's going into galleys now, and Liereyy hasn't started the galley production, so we'll see if this is a swing right now.
Yeah, because galleys are ranged. You need time to mass them. And DauT knows he has a small lead, but is it too early to make that transition? And that demo wasn't the best, if you ask me. And DauT loses a fishing ship. And here comes another demo from Liereyy this time. And that demo, oh, just missing. But that was a good one. That was a good one, and now this swings heavily into Lierey's favor. And the galleys, I don't think there's enough of them. DauT will lose his fish.
He had to keep his fires alive, dude. If you're teching into galleys, you have to have some fires in front of that.
Liereyy now, 2 fishing ships left. Now this would be the time to consider adding the galleys. You know, the docks are pretty close together, so I think fires will be stronger here anyway.
This is the time for DauT where he has to consider sending builds forward.
Yes, exactly.
You got to transition at some point. Like if you lost the water, you're going to be so far behind in eco that you got to almost go forward.
And it's worth pointing out that demos would be a good idea here for DauT, but look how Liereyy has positioned his fires. He's positioned them so if he does get hit, it will only be one. It will not be multiple. So the demos are not the best choice for DauT. He has a demo in 2 of his docks and a few galleys, but he's actually adding more fires now because he knows he's fallen behind.
And look, Liereyy even scattering all the fires behind just in case DauT sneaks out some fires to go kill his fish.
Yeah. Smart play from Liereyy.
And like he's not going to screw up here. DauT is waiting for him to cluster those fire galleys.
There's a demo for DauT. He gets one explosion again. That's not what you need with demos. And the demo from Liereyy was really strong. It hit both of those galleys. DauT is forced to come out of his docks now. He doesn't have enough HP on them. The one on the left will soon on Garrison too. And we'll see another engagement with which Liereyy is prepared for. That demo was good, but is it enough, Dave?
That was a sick demo, and Liereyy has to cluster a bunch of fires together, and DauT needs to get some great shots to turn this around.
Well, Liereyy back at home is adding fishing ships. Now, Leary's economy is well ahead. He's at 600 food. He's also just added a barrack, so maybe he will forget about the water for the time being. I think it's a bit overconfident to add the fishing ships, but this guy can calculate it well.
Well, he's being pushed back now, and I think he added 3 fishing ships. He probably should have only added 1.
One, maybe, yeah.
With the fires.
It's too greedy, possibly, yeah. You know, he's just created fishing ships to possibly lose them. And as we pointed out earlier, he doesn't have the best selection of deep fish, so he'll be pretty far away from his docks with the fishing. But we will soon see Castle Age for Liereyy, I know that much. And he has the fires to defend, and he clicks up. So I guess, well, DauT might catch his fish out, actually, but I guess it wasn't too bad for Liereyy.
Liereyy with a great build order, too. Like, old Baltic, you used to see people selling their stones so they could go up faster, you know?
Yeah.
But him and DauT just had a perfect build order. They don't even need to do that.
Yeah, and 2 fishing ships did go down next to Lierey's docks. Liereyy taking another good trade versus the galleys from DauT. And
that demo.
Oh, that's smart. That's a smart move. Smart split from DauT. Leary's in the lead, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, he definitely is. And DauT's still looking for his fish. Liereyy has 3 alive.
Yeah, I think we'll see the end of the fish, though. Like, at some point, DauT will get these, right? I feel like he will.
It is DauT, so maybe not.
This is true. This is true. Though the micro there wasn't too bad. Liereyy has added an archery range, Dave, and if he holds water control, he could always send a transport across, and show up right at DauT's wood line. He's scouted that wood line. Or he could run around, but that'll be a pretty slow move, so time will tell.
And DauT is convincingly winning the water now, I think.
Yeah, it's just, what will he gain when he wins the water? He doesn't range any of Lierey's economy.
He can defend himself.
Yeah, he can defend himself for sure. And then he can give himself a lot of time to boom up. Is it the correct decision for Liereyy to add the archery range and transition to lands when he can't get to DauT?
I think TCs and just keeping DauT investing on the water is probably the best bet for Liereyy at the moment.
Well, War Galley for Liereyy, which will mean his fire galleys turn into fire ships. And again, I believe he's trying to calculate this. DauT, he added galleys. He just recently got fletching, and he's getting War Galley as well. Though there will be a nice little window of opportunity for Liereyy to push out with the stronger ships. And that's exactly what he's doing. Still keeping 2 fish alive, though they are idle. And then crossbow, well, 3. 3 archers running into a wolf along the right-hand side. But they will be crossbows, and they are going to go to DauT's base. And DauT has not been able to wall that up. There's no choke point to do so.
Well, there's a TC he's putting up there, so it's going to be tough for Liereyy to find picks.
Oh, the demo on the front, Dave!
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 2 good demos for DauT, and he's held on. He's mixing in War Galleys, so obviously, as DauT sends in another demo, he wants to focus heavier on water. A good point. That TC for DauT, that's going to do a great job at protecting his gold. His wood line on the right, while that is vulnerable, I guess he could relocate to the backside.
I feel like these crossbows are more of just like a preemptive thing to keep DauT on his toes, right? I don't think Liereyy really expects to do a ton of damage with them.
Yeah, it's interesting how he built his archery range on the back as well, you know? Like maybe he expected DauT to do something. 2 TCs for Liereyy. It seems like DauT will win the water now, but I don't know. Every time I think that... Yeah, the crossbows arrive.
On the right now.
Yep, 1 villager. Oh, DauT doesn't realize this. DauT does not realize this. He was not expecting this move. So 2 villagers down now for DauT. It will be 3 most likely if Liereyy micros this correctly, and he does. And Liereyy has a 10 villager lead, Dave.
DauT still investing heavily on water, and Liereyy just making a few fire ships from each dock. So
Just enough. It's a calculated risk, right? Just enough. He's not overextending. While it kind of seems like he's invested more into all of this, and he's not really that far ahead. 64 population for Liereyy and only 50 for DauT. And DauT has to build a siege workshop for just 4 crossbows without bodkin arrow. It's pretty crazy because a couple times I'm thinking, okay, DauT's going to win water. He has way more ships. And then Liereyy just gets the numbers out to hold.
it's that distance in between. By the time he gets there, Leary's produced 3 more fires or 4 more fires.
Yep.
And now it's going back to DauT stock, and I bet you DauT wins this engagement. Here he's got demos coming out.
Yep. Demo's a good idea there. That one wasn't the most successful. As of now, it's even, but yeah, it's very hard to truly kill someone on water with just fires when demos are available. There's the Mangonel for DauT Dave. Liereyy only has 4 crossbows. Again, he does not have bodkin arrow, but he sees it, he dodges it, and
It's
he's
Liereyy.
going to, yeah, it's Liereyy. He's going to get out of here.
Game. See you later. Oh, the deer maybe blocked them. Oh,
Yeah.
close.
Now he has to be careful here, Liereyy. Oh my goodness. Will he? Yup. How annoying is this if you're DauT, you know? Like, you have to focus on all of this. Liereyy
I
doesn't
like
even
the
have
mind games
bodkin.
there.
Yeah.
It was like DauT thought Liereyy was going through that choke point, and he attack grounded the choke point, and Leary's like, nah, I know what you're
Yep.
gonna do.
Yeah, and meanwhile, he's taking 1 dock down. They'll take 2 docks down, despite the demo now coming out of it. And it's
Good
looking better
demo.
and better for Liereyy, man. Yeah, that demo was really nice. But
And Liereyy
as we
would-
said earlier, Liereyy, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dave. Liereyy could add some war galleys, get bodkin, or even transport now, and he's right next to DauT's eco.
And Liereyy is controlling. If he keeps those crossbows running around here, I think he's scouting for a DauT villager here, but he's controlling the important part of the map.
Yeah, for sure. Normally when you lose water on a map like this, you boom up with TCs, which DauT is doing. He's catching up with the Vil count. And then you have to make the decision, A, to fight on land and Imperial Age, or B, castle the water so you can regain control and then push on water. So
Or
we
your
will...
opponent goes up to imp on
Exactly.
way faster than you ever will.
Yeah.
And you
So...
might be dead.
Well, Lierey's clicked up, and he added another archery range on that right-hand side. So he wants to continue with the crossbow route. Again, all of this has been very calculated by Liereyy, right? He didn't get bodkin arrow. He didn't need it. So he gets that research after he's used his resources to click up to imp. Bodkin arrow will probably be bracer. And again, he's just holding on water. DauT is even close to clicking up. He's really not. He's not. He's had to relocate many times. If you look at his wood lines, it's a mess. It's
he's
not
put
as
a
efficient.
He's put a 4th TC down, so he's not going up.
Wow.
He's going to boom it out. And you know what? It might be the right decision considering he just won back water again.
Yeah.
And Liereyy only has the crossbows.
Correct. He
Soon
doesn't
to be
have a lot.
arbalest, so not really that much to push. His siege workshop is so far away, it'll take a long time for him to get there.
If Lierey's faster Imperial doesn't do anything, DauT will have the stronger eco. He already does. But how can DauT hold against the Arbalest? That is the question. I'm thinking a castle on that hill where the Mangonel is would be nice to stall.
Well, that's a DauT castle just waiting to happen right there.
You're right. That would be the position for a DauT castle for sure. It's funny how Lierey's production buildings are scattered across the right-hand side. His 1 archer range is back in his base, and he has 2 on the right. Bracer and Arbalest coming in. DauT, that castle is going to be too late now if he wants it. And the Imperial Age, I imagine, comes as a surprise to him because he's not even close. So I doubt he expected Liereyy to have clicked up.
Well, he could buy his way up if he really wanted to, but he's limited on gold. And now Liereyy coming into this Mangonel, there's no way DauT's even going to get a kill here. if
Well.
Leary's on point.
Well.
Oh, 1 kill. God.
One
no.
kill.
Come
One
on,
kill.
Liereyy.
You
Come
should
on,
have
man.
said there's no way DauT's going to get 2 kills, and then you would have been correct. DauT has to leave this area now. He'll lose a villager. He's also losing access to his gold and his stone here. And DauT has added his own archery range, and he's queuing up crossbows, Dave. He hasn't even upgraded to crossbow, but that's what he's choosing to do.
Interesting. And it's not looking good for him.
No, it's really not, because while he has more villagers, he's a lot more idols. So I would say that Lierey's economy is probably stronger. And also Liereyy, he's going back onto water, getting fast fire ship. And with fast fire ship, he will definitely clean up DauT's navy. I'm trying to find a way back for DauT. I'm trying to think of a way back. It's got to be Castle Age Flood, but if Liereyy keeps playing it like he is, I don't see it happening. DauT is running out of places to get wood and gold. He's back in this small corner, and DauT, as he researches crossbow and ballistics, he's losing this TC on the right-hand side to capped rams.
Liereyy even pulling away that ram, forcing DauT to chase. And if he takes this TC down, that gold is unattainable. And he's in a really rough position. Really rough.
And then this is before DauT loses the water, right? So this just gets worse and worse. A lot of the eco for DauT's on the left now, up against the edge of the pond or the lake. So we'll see. DauT's able to keep the TC up. Lierey's micro is good against this Mangonel, and this time he will... he loses 1 to the crossbows. But here's Lierey's micro now, Dave. Hit and run with the additional range. DauT can't live like this. He can't play like this. He needs maybe elite skirmisher, and yeah, okay, he's researching elite skirmisher now. Maybe that will be enough.
With the rams there, though,
Yeah.
the rams are the big problem here for DauT. He needs mangonels or something, but he has basically no gold once Liereyy takes this TC to make those units.
Yep. It has snowballed pretty quickly here, and now DauT will lose control of the water. Lierey's adding more docks, actually. And Liereyy getting scale barding, so he's going to add in some light cav, which would be an excellent move against the elite skirms of DauT, which is pretty much all he'll be able to afford if he loses the gold. The TC's being repaired. It looks like it might stay up, but at what cost? So many villagers going down there once again.
And Lierey's got 103 villagers now, so at some point he has to increase his production. He's only got a couple archery ranges coming forward, and the TC's still alive? How?
The TC's still alive, and Liereyy, that is a ballsy man right there. He's fighting versus skirms and crossbows. Actually, they didn't have any defense upgrades, but it's just funny how Liereyy chose to split against that when DauT had more numbers.
And DauT's on the way to Imperial Age.
Yeah, I was going to say perhaps giving DauT a moment to hang in here, because he just lost his army numbers. I think we're just waiting for the next wave of Liereyy, which will include light calves, and then DauT might be surprised by that. But DauT has 500 stone. If he gets a castle up on that hill, he can hold this right-hand side. A few Genoese crossbow in the mix would kill the light cav. And while there's still more possibilities for Liereyy, and while I still think Lierey's economy is much stronger, it probably wasn't the best fight for him on the hill there. You don't want to lose your momentum like that.
He just didn't have his production buildings close enough. He couldn't reinforce fast enough, and DauT was winning with less upgrades.
Yep. DauT runs forward, getting 1 defense upgrade on his skirmishers now, but he doesn't have enough crossbows in the mix, so the light cap from Liereyy with all the defense upgrades, they will clean up everything DauT has. But I will say, the trades have been decent for DauT over the last minute or two. He traded versus the Arbalest very well, but now he needs an answer to the light cav.
And he's going to the left corner of the map, so he's securing that area. More wood for him, less likely to be hit by the water control from Liereyy, and Liereyy actually sending a villager up north as well. So he knows what has to be done here.
Yeah, and if you look at Lierey's Fog of War, he's actually scouted that with fire ships. So he will start sending light cav from both sides, I guess. And DauT builds a castle. I guess it won't be a DauT castle on the right, Dave, because he's building it below the hill. That's not ideal, though. He doesn't secure that gold at all. I would have liked to have seen him try and force it up on the hill.
This is tournament DauT. regular rated game, DauT would have put that castle right on that hill.
Yeah, exactly. He's not taking any risks anymore. And yes, a few Genoese crossbow coming out of the castle. Now Elite Skirmisher and Thumb Ring. So Liereyy, he's in a position to transition more. He's in the lead, and now he's also adding the Bombard Cannons. So Bombard Cannons will do a great job against all the units DauT has at the moment. DauT could consider maybe going for something like condos or light cav himself, but only in the future because he doesn't have the economy to transition because he's behind. Oh, and he's going to redock on the left today.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I mean, he's redocking because he sees the weakness here, which is if Liereyy gets water control and galleons or cannon galleons, he's done.
Yeah.
So he has to redock and secure that. And Liereyy now coming in with light cav at the top as well. DauT's got a wall off there.
Yeah, DauT trying to build a mining camp on the stone, just now realizing Liereyy is there. This is going to be tough. Liereyy, as we said when the game started, he's a very fast player, and he has the mobile units now. So with so much map control, this is often easy for Liereyy to push. He'll push on the right, and then when DauT addresses that, he'll push on the left. And speaking of the right, 3 bombard cannons for Liereyy, tons of light cav, Arbalest. DauT's going to lose the gold villagers if he stays here. He's in trouble.
He's not winning on either side.
No, he's not.
This is a
And
problem.
160 population versus 120. I think DauT knows now. He might have even known for a while this is going to be tough for him. He'll lose his castle, and he has no answer to Liereyy. None whatsoever. Except, I will say Liereyy just lost half of his Arbalest to DauT's castle, so I guess that helps. That's why you build castles, kids.
And DauT's actually trying to fight back on the north side. He's making fire ships now to cut off that choke point. Also dropping a watchtower. Interesting.
Yeah. He's trying to deny that castle. He wants to show Liereyy what a DauT castle feels like. And I don't think Liereyy can get the castle up, but he can take this tower right down and I guess finish it off in the future. And still on the right-hand side, DauT has lost his castle, and he doesn't have the composition. He certainly doesn't have the composition to kill the light cav now, because he can't make Genoese crossbow. There's 2 in there. But without them, the light cav will kill everything DauT has.
It seems like the only thing he does have right now is determination. He just
DauT
wants
says,
to win.
DauT, 48 minutes in, says, is it single queue? And Liereyy said, I don't know, didn't check. Oh, some drama here. It's supposed to be multi-queue, I believe. But anyway, I don't think that would have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered at all, right? Like, I mean, that would be convenient to bring up at this point after you've already lost. But
Yeah.
I don't think that would have mattered at all. Liereyy taking the game convincingly. What impressed me the most this game was that Liereyy, his choices on water were so smooth, man. I wish we could see statistics on how many fire galleys were made in feudal, because it felt like Liereyy created less, and it was just enough. He didn't go over the top with it.
Yeah, I mean, the only time we were shaking our heads is when he made those extra fishing ships. But
Yeah,
other than that, like, you were right. He was way smoother than DauT on his transitions and when he made units, when he produced them. The fights they took were pretty even, but somehow he just ended up on top.
yep. Well, also worth pointing out that Liereyy, he scouted better. He got the corners first. He had the extra gold pile secured on that right-hand side. So once Liereyy came in with that push, it was always going to be difficult for DauT to come back. Anyway, let's look at the achievements now. Move on to the military stats. 201 kills for Liereyy, 149 units lost. Looking at the economy, Liereyy was ahead in every single category, despite DauT having around the same number of vills as Liereyy. It was because DauT had a lot more idle time. He had to reposition his villagers more frequently. Looking at the techs, well, everywhere you look, Liereyy seems to be ahead on this, right? Slightly faster feudal. I guess they didn't hit at the same time. Slightly faster castle, and then a much faster imperial age. More exploration, more researches, and you can see the vill count and the 1 relic captured. And that is it for game 1. We're going to move on to game 2. So I felt like that was the map for DauT right there if he was going to get a win versus Liereyy. Because when you have, it's kind of a macro-oriented map, I feel like. Because you have the fires and the demos to bail you out if you fall behind. So next map will be Cross. It's also water, but there's 4 separate ponds in the corners of the map for those who haven't seen it before. It's one of my favorite maps that we've seen so far this tournament, Dave, because there's so much that can go on land and on water.
You have so many options too. Like I've seen people end up fishing in their enemies' ponds, and their
Yeah.
enemy is fishing in their ponds because they both went for forward docks. And I mean, you can wall up, but a lot of the times when you wall up, there's a villager behind your walls from your
Yeah.
enemy that you don't know is there. So it gets really, really interesting.
Yeah, you have to scout for what their strategy will be on land. You have to scout what pond they will dock in. You then also have to scout if they're going to try and dock your pond to kill your fish. We've seen Scandinavia a lot in this tournament too, and that's similar in the sense that you have to focus on water and lands, but it's still very open on the front. Budapest is game 3. If we make it there, if we get to game 3, who do you favor in terms of speed between DauT and Liereyy, Dave?
For Budapest?
Yeah, man. 2 TCs.
I don't know. Whichever player is more hungry.
Okay. Where did that come from?
Is Budapest in Hungary? Or is that in Bulgaria?
No,
It's in Hungary.
That's not what I'm referring to. So before we started the stream, listen to this, guys. Listen to this. I need to tell you something. So before we started the stream, right? One of my mods in the Twitch chat said, T90, I hope there's a lot of T90 dad jokes, which is what I'm known for on my channel. And I said to Dave, listen, I'm not going to make a lot of dad jokes because we have a different audience here. We have to be more professional. And that's the second one from Dave. We didn't even get into game 2.
Speaking of professional, the game has actually started, so
yeah, it has. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game 2 between Liereyy and DauT. Liereyy played really well last time, really well. Dave and I were just talking about how this map is exciting because it's another one of those where you have to focus on water and land. Liereyy is in the red. They swapped colors, right? Yeah, they swapped colors. Why are they doing this to us? Liereyy is in the northeast, playing as the Huns, and then DauT is in the southwest, playing as the Huns. Players are both close to ponds. There's 2 ponds that they can access for fish. I'll start with the golds and the stones, I guess, Dave, and then you can talk about whatever else you see. Lierey's base, he has back woodline. He has his main gold on the right-hand side, a secondary gold near that. Slight hill on the front, which would be a pain. Stone is forward. Another gold is forward for him as well. And then his other stones around the left-hand side. Possibly some wall lofts for Liereyy between the trees to the ponds. And likely the same for DauT as we go over to DauT's base. DauT has gold on the back, which he'll like, I'm sure. His stones are on the left-hand side. And then his second and third golds are forward and on the right. Those will be awkward because any TCs you like to place on them will be in harm's way. What else do you think about this?
There's a lot of hills around there, which is gross, especially against Huns when sometimes they go into cav archers and they can sit on those hills and it is not pretty.
Yeah.
I usually, like in this map, I usually look at the wall off points because a lot of the time you'll see huge walls here. And for Liereyy, his map is very open and DauT has more possibilities to wall off.
You're right. You're right. Now, the other thing about walling is normally you would wall from your pond to your wood line. But if you do that in a normal fashion, you're still giving your opponent access to docking your ponds and sending fire galleys in to kill your fish. So I've actually seen players, hold on a sec. We have a scout fight in the center. This will be huge. I doubt he ends up leaving this. Will he turn back around? Because both are on 30 HP. No. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I've seen players looking at Lierey's right-hand side for reference. Instead of walling from the pond to this close wood line, wall from wood line to the other wood line against the edge of the map by that relic just to stop someone from docking off. I think earlier Max did that in one of his victories in an earlier series.
Dock going up for both players at the same time. They have the same build order here.
Yep. And it's worth pointing out that these maps are not played all that regularly when players are playing rated games. It's mainly Arabia, so there's a lot of behind-the-scenes practice going on. DauT. Oh, this will be interesting. DauT just hit Lierey's TC by accident, so he lost some scout HP. And he knows that Lierey's bringing in this boar. Now, will he attempt to lame this? He could block off the boar, or he could go for the villager. He's going to block off the boar instead. Yeah.
The Villa's too close to the TC. Now he's going for the Vill. Liereyy trying the trick.
Liereyy trying to trick. And can he do it? Oh, he's done it. He's done it. So for those that don't know what oh, no, it's gone back. Now, DauT can't lame this now, but that is well worth it for DauT. I know he lost a little bit more scout HP. Yeah, we should highlight that one. There was a bunch of things going on there, but first of all, obviously worth it for DauT because he delays Lierey's boar, so Lierey's food will be late. Now, the talk about what Liereyy did there to save his villager, which was impressive, he started building palisade walls exactly where the boar is. So you can't just place the foundation. You have to hit that foundation to put some HP on it to de-aggro the boar. He did that, and to be honest, Dave, he was very unfortunate that the boar ran back there because I thought he was going to be able to bring it in.
Well, I mean, the first two, he didn't even build over the boar. He built it to block the boar. And then the last one, he finally got it. And DauT just thought, I mean, DauT was probably thinking, I can't do that, so Liereyy can't do that. And so he ran away at the last second.
Yeah. Well, normally that's done with the house. And a house covers more surface area, so it's easier to do that trick with a house. This is Huns. They don't get houses. So that makes it even more impressive. On the bright side for Liereyy, he saved that villager. But the downside for him is he is behind to the feudal age. Saying that, though, he has one more villager, and he's not that far behind. It's not like he had idle time, I guess. So what do you think about the dock positions, Dave? Because this will be interesting.
Well, I mean, dock positions are dock positions, right?
Well, the pond
what
location.
What more can I say? They're in their own ponds. DauT's scouting Lierey's second pond now, though.
Yeah,
so he might be looking out for the dock. It's more important if the other players see where their enemy is docked, right? So DauT can see where Liereyy is docked.
Yep.
And I think Liereyy can't see where DauT has docked.
Yeah, Liereyy he was probably distracted with his scouting, right? Because he was trying to save his Vill. He's currently looking to see what strategy DauT will go with on land, I believe. He's looking for a barracks. He hasn't seen it, and DauT has placed it to the right of this wood line. And it will be scouts for DauT, and it will be probably the same for Liereyy here. Let's wait and see. Yes, so both players going for scouts, and both players on 6 fishing ships. Liereyy just with a slight Vill lead now. So not your typical Hun war because there's the water aspect, but no one has gone for aggressive docks to kill enemy fishing ships. So for now, I think it'll be mainly land focus.
The fishing ships really help you, though. When you're going scouts, they help you transition faster into Castle Age, get that extra food economy. And DauT has the advantage in scouting right now. He's seen Lierey's stable. He's coming forward with his spearmen. He knows Liereyy wants to wall up there, and he knows where Lierey's dock is.
Liereyy picked off the 3 HP scout. DauT thought he could be sneaky, and now Liereyy quick walls that spear out so that spear won't annoy him.
But Liereyy is fighting a villager from DauT at the moment.
I think he can win that fight.
On the left-hand side, yeah.
Well, DauT's sending over another scout now, so maybe not. Let's see. I can't click the Vill to see the HP on my screen.
You got him. No!
Oh, 1 HP. Oh, man. So DauT has been fortunate a few times now. Liereyy sends in another scout looking for that guy. He sees a new villager has replaced him, and I don't think he'll get the snipe right now. So well played DauT there. Even harassing Lierey's wood line back at Lierey's base. You can see Liereyy has an idol because DauT was smacking him. But this does bring to our attention that Lierey's focusing on the redocks or the new docks of DauT, right? That's huge.
And he's kept making fishing ships as well. Same with DauT. And if he catches this villager out here, that's a waste of idle time, a waste of wood from DauT as well.
She did. And they're both docking the same pond, which is huge. Liereyy will get his dock up first. Notice how Liereyy, he took the time to quick wall his Vill in. DauT should have done the same. Also, Lierey's going to the right-hand side to dock. So Lierey's trying to take control of 3 of these ponds. even taking the time to build an outpost in the north next to that dock to see if DauT wants to disrupt him. Speaking of disruption, DauT moves in with a bunch of spears and some scouts on Lierey's wood line. And he doesn't get any pickoffs just yet, but he could kill that woman. And I think he'll get her. Yes, that's one villager down for Liereyy.
DauT with a much different strategy than Liereyy here, going with those initial spearmen. Liereyy only making a couple spears of his own.
Yeah. Two
He's
vills
lost two
down.
villagers.
And, I mean, there's scouts here. One is weak. Liereyy, he picks off the scout. Wow, that is well calculated. He picks off the scout and gets away with the villager. As time goes on here, assuming Liereyy can afford... Oh, she dies. Damn. Assuming Liereyy can afford to make the fishing ships, Dave, I think he'll get a lead.
And Leary's actually docking the right corner pond as well.
Yeah,
So he's gonna have 3 ponds to make fishing ships in, but he is losing villagers at his base.
Yeah, he is.
One a minute.
I mean, he has been stubborn out here, and there's another weak villager. I assume he will die as well. Liereyy almost calculated it last time. He's fighting with him. The weak villager is leading the charge. But what really matters is Lierey's scouts at DauT's base. So there's so much going on. DauT had to leave his entire wood line. So I guess he has been less stubborn when it comes to fighting with vills. Crazy stuff here. Great game.
This is why I love this map. And you see what DauT is doing here. He tried to wall the right corner of his base. Liereyy denied that. And now Liereyy coming forward with a villager of his own to dock the bottom pond.
And that will be his 4th if he gets it, and he should dock it. Now, DauT maybe intentionally taking that shorefish to see if Liereyy will be adding a dock. So if he knows about that, he'll add a fire galley. He hasn't done so yet. There's so much going on. And Lierey's still running away from that one wood line. Why hasn't he just repositioned to the backside? This is baffling to me.
He's sending them back too. He's not even fighting with them.
He's not focused because there's so many elements to this map.
They're all
There's
gonna
water,
die.
there's land. One villager goes down, fighting with his villagers again. He'll lose another. Man, just leave this area, Liereyy. Well, DauT hasn't reacted to the dock in the south, so Liereyy should be okay there. DauT's also mixing in archers. Liereyy has not added ranges yet. Liereyy has a lot more food in the bank, and for some reason, Liereyy, he's run forward with the villager again, and he'll wall him in, so I guess he'll survive, but the quality of life won't be very good.
He also walled in the villager at the bottom, and now he's
Yep.
running out with him as well. So he wants a sneaky kind of villager.
Forward
behind
market, man.
DauT's base.
Forward market, pro
That's
strategies. Well, when someone adds the market, normally that means they're lacking something. And in this case, Lierey's lacking a little bit of gold, but he has 1,000 food. So the extra fishing ships have paid off for him. Saying that, if you look on the left corner, DauT
And the
sends
right
fires
corner.
out. And
And
the
the
right
right
corner. Wow. So 2 ponds being fought over, probably 3 soon, as Liereyy in the south now has a fire galley. And then there's the scouts and the archers in the middle. 4 different fights at the same time, and that fight is not good for DauT. Far too many scouts for Liereyy with bloodlines. And Liereyy clicks up to Castle Age, Dave. What a game.
It's just crazy that there's 4 or 3 different ponds they're fighting over, and they're fighting over the middle of the map.
Yeah. Zach is controlling the screen as well, so he has to wait to see what area we're talking about when
Good
there's
luck,
5
Zach.
different areas.
Thanks, bro.
Liereyy has 6 more fishing ships right now, but that could easily change soon. Liereyy loses 2 on the right-hand corner. He lost a few on the left. And the south, DauT could lose some. I think we know how hectic this is. Another just passing moment. DauT just passes the scouts of Liereyy, which now have a defense upgrade. I believe Liereyy will mix in some knights and skirmishers on the next stage, and that is not a good fight for DauT yet again on lands.
That armor just does so much. Like, if they didn't have that first defense upgrade, those scouts would have all died, but DauT having to run away now.
Yep. The villager that built the forward market, for those that were wondering what was going on with him, he's dying, but Liereyy noticed it, and he'll at least attack with him until he dies. And is DauT ever going to hit Castle Age? No, he hasn't even, he's not even close. He's at 60 food.
Look at the
This is
farts
not
that he's
good for
dropping.
DauT.
He's panicking now. And once he sees Liereyy in Castle H, he's going to panic even more.
Well, he has to flood this in feudal age. He has to add spears. He has to add scouts and archers. He can't wait for Castle Age now. He's 8 fishing ships behind. He has a military advantage, but he doesn't have a tech advantage. And Liereyy will probably take every single pond. So DauT needs to hold map control for a while, wait for his farms to kick in. He's adding a second stable, Dave. So it will be scouts and archers, full feudal age on cross. This is awesome.
And Liereyy now getting the War Galley upgrade, so he's going to have regular fire ships out in those ponds, which is going to be trouble for DauT. And the Knights now coming up to clear up the archers in the middle.
Yep. 2 Knights arrive, and look at how much damage they do. The skirmishers don't even have fletching on them, but they still help out a little bit. And this is not the position that DauT needs to be in if he's going to win this game. He's behind in tech. He needs to be the one that has the offensive presence. And Liereyy, he's not messing around. 2 stables, 4 Knights on the way. And now DauT is down to 1 lonely fishing ship. And imagine Liereyy will just add more. DauT is in big, big trouble.
DauT also knows he has to put pressure on here. Like, normal players would defend with that feudal army until they got to Castle Age. DauT is just going forward. He knows he has to do damage here.
Liereyy must be attached to this wood line, though. He saw the archers were coming in and he decided to wall. A little bit indecisive for a player who's been so dominant. He loses 4 villagers, so that's very good for DauT. DauT's also running away. He's running to the back of Lierey's base, so that means that the Knights that Liereyy wanted to send forward will now chase this army.
+2 coming in now.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. With +2, this army dies, and it won't take very long for the Knights to get forward, right? I know there's a Vill difference, but there's also a huge fishing ship difference, which cancels it out. And DauT is getting wheel now, and he's sending a batch of spears and archers forward, Dave, as he loses the archers that are in Lierey's base, or were in Lierey's base.
You know what? That attack forced Liereyy to come back to defend at his base, and now DauT's had some time. He's getting wheelbarrow. Like, he should, theoretically, should be able to click up soon, but I just looked at his res.
No.
No.
It's a never-ending cycle now, man. It's a never-ending cycle because he needs to create spears to deal with the Knights. He needs to get spear upgrades because the Knights have so many upgrades. But hey, he hits Lierey's wood line again. God, just leave this wood line. There's plenty of others to choose from, Liereyy. Imagine if he would have left this and gone to the one he's already on in the back. Good for DauT, though. DauT picks off a few more villagers. But the Knights now from Liereyy have found DauT's wood line. But DauT has the spears there to protect. So can he hold on and get to Castle Age?
Lierey's going back to the wood line again.
Oh my God! Liereyy, stop it, man. I don't know what it is. It must be, he wants to split up his lumberjacks, I guess. They're competing lumber companies. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, initially, he only had the backwood line, so he wants to split it up, but, like, he can always go to the right, or maybe even a bit farther forward.
Well, in the end, it doesn't matter. Liereyy kills the archers. More spears now coming forward for DauT. DauT is buying himself time, though. DauT's about to click up to Castle Age, Dave. Has he held on enough?
Just want to say. He's back there again.
Stop doing it, Liereyy. Stop doing it. He's trying to use his skirmishers, not for the archers, but for the spears, because the spears are the only thing that worry him. If he loses a villager on this wood line again, I'm going to rage so hard. Don't do it. Don't. You see the archers. Leave. Okay. All right. This is fine. This is fine. Liereyy is 8 villagers behind, and Davy's 18 fishing ships ahead. So he's still well ahead, but DauT's on the way to Castle Age. The one good thing for DauT is he has more military units. So if he can get upgrades on these, then maybe, just maybe, especially if Liereyy builds a TC on this wood line. Can you imagine the slaughter? Maybe DauT with more military can kill some of the economy Liereyy has.
DauT's also, like, DauT doesn't have that many great places to TC either. I'm looking around his map. Like, if he wants to boom up, he's going to have trouble here.
Yeah, and, you know, DauT could win on land, but I think the biggest issue now is that Liereyy has all 4 ponds secured. So Liereyy, he hasn't been adding farms, he's been adding fishing ships. And the beauty of fishing ships is you don't need to refresh them like a farm. So you get so much more value out of it. And here comes the mobility of Liereyy now. As he splits up the knights, some knights were on the left, they ran away. And now the other knights go to the golds. And DauT, who had a villager advantage for a while, is now 5 villagers behind. This is not good for DauT, though I will say he's held on well. I would have probably been dead a while ago.
Elite Skirm is not going to be good for him to counter as well.
Correct. Yeah.
It's going to be very rough.
Yeah, Elite Skirm will kill his pikemen. It's not often you see the pikeman upgrade, but in Hun Wars it happens. And the crossbows. So Liereyy, he's on 2 ranges making Elite Skirms now. He also did a wise thing and he ran away with his... Because he can keep DauT's army at home if he continues to run in, and he's running back in as we speak. Oh man, DauT's gold will get massacred if the knights go there. And
he
the
can't
skirms.
TC that either.
Yeah, can't TC it.
But he might pick off the knights here. Liereyy might not notice this.
Well, I think Leary's focused on the other side. So Leary's that far ahead that he can lose those knights, still push in with Elite Skirm and another batch. And with ballistics on the way, there's no real counter that DauT has to these skirmishers. He's adding in a few knights, which is the right move, but his knights just die when they close in, and Leary's microing down the crossbows. 33 military for Liereyy. Liereyy now has more military and more economy. He has a 40 population lead. DauT's trying, Dave, but it is not looking good.
And DauT still hasn't secured the 2 golds at the front either.
Yeah, this is true.
It's very rough for him. Map position, military, economy, everything is rough.
So if you're a Liereyy here, do you even need to think about Imperial Age, or do you just flood in Castle Age? You just flood in Castle Age.
Yep, GG.
Yeah. Truthfully, I was trying to find something else to talk about until DauT called GG. So DauT calls the GG. Liereyy with 2 strong victories. And that means Aftermath stays alive. A very good result for them. DauT, it's hard to say where things went wrong for him here because he got a lot of Vil kills, but it has to be the pawns, I guess, in the end that decided it. Liereyy has a 20 fishing ship lead.
Yeah, I think Liereyy was just a bit quicker to go for that control. And
Yeah.
DauT was about a minute behind him, like sending forward villagers to dock. DauT also didn't dock Leary's back pond, which Liereyy did to DauT's main fishing eco. So
Yeah.
like Liereyy completely fished that out. You look at it, there's no fish left.
Well, if you recall the left-hand pond, when DauT lost that villager, that was pretty much when he stopped fighting for water, right? And had he walled in his Vil, his dock would have been up earlier, and it could have been a very different game. Seen that a few times in this tournament already where players forget to wall in. Yeah, obviously, there's a lot going on at the same time, but these are experts, and you expect them to think of that. In Scandinavia, in Crossman, if you fall behind in the fishing ship count, it could be tough.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a huge advantage. And like Liereyy tried to keep him in the game by going to that wood line again and again and again. But DauT just couldn't hold on, and really well played both games by Liereyy. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, if you would have asked Liereyy, as we go to the achievements now,